Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff and drink stuff then, folks. I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. It's real cold out. That has nothing to do with the review, but it is, in fact, very, very cold out today. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. But that's not the case today. This particular item I picked up a couple days ago. And yeah, I went over there. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine, a guy named Nate, and his beautiful wife, Stephanie. Hi, they watch my videos. And I would imagine they're specifically going to watch this one. But yeah, they're extremely cool people I've known for years now. We went out, we had an incredible lunch, it was a really great time, and then after everything was said and done, turns out that there was a Trader Joe's nearby, and I, mentioned the fact that I'd never actually been to a Trader Joe's, just hadn't happened for me, to which my friend Nate was like, all too excited to go over there and be like, we're going to do it, you're going to go to Trader Joe's. So we went to Trader Joe's, I picked up a couple things, and one thing in particular he'd been eyeballing, but he didn't know if he wanted to go for it, and I figured, fuck it. I'll go over there, I'll pick it up, I'll review it, and then might work for him. So, what is it? What am I doing, folks? Well, it is from Trader Joe's. It happens to be their boom French onion popcorn. Ooh, French onion popcorn. We got a thing on the back. It says, boasting exquisite oniony notes and cheesy umami in every mouthful, Trader Joe's French onion popcorn delivers characteristic flavors of namesake dish with the aplomb. I don't know what the fuck that word is. A-P-L-O-M-B. Aplomb. Aplomb? That's a new one on me. I usually have a pretty good vocabulary, and without the requisite cooking time or utensils. And if you're really craving that classic French onion soup dining experience, simply serve this popcorn in a sturdy crock with a spoon. Soup's on. It's a lot of stuff for some popcorn, but let's get a thing for the thing here. Kind of, maybe like something like that. What kind of? Ha 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 ha! It's a very large bag, but not that full. Let's open it up. Yeah, cause like here's the bag, right? That's a really big bag of popcorn. That's like bigger than my big ass head, but actual amount of popcorn you're getting. Yeah, that's nowhere near as big as my big ass head. So, just take that into account if you're looking to pick it up. But let's try some. It's very pungent. Definitely has quite a waft. Popcorn itself is really nice. It eats really well. Almost wants to kind of melt in your mouth. That's really nice popcorn. As for the flavor, it's a nice flavor, and I can see where they're going for with it. I haven't had French onion soup in a long ass time, but I actually like it, despite the fact that I'm famously not that big of an onion guy. I always like French onion soup. It definitely has a very strong, very distinct flavor. And this kind of has notes of that. Like, I don't know if I didn't know what it was beforehand, I don't know that I would immediately go to French onion. But there's like an onioniness, there's a cheesiness. So again, like I get where they're going for with it. Yeah. Say the initial hit is more of kind of a cheesiness, but not quite as strong as, say, like a cheddar cheese popcorn. a little bit more subdued, but definitely still impactful. Then, as that kind of fades out, that's where you start getting more of the oniony flavor. And it does. It almost has kind of like a grilled onionist sort of aspect to it. Like, because it has, if you got like a nice French onion soup, it almost has like and this doesn't sound very enticing, but I promise it is if you've never had it. Man, I want some French onion soup now. It has kind of like almost a slight earthy bitterness to it, but like not in a bad way, because you get like caramelization, you get like sweetness, you get the cheese and everything. Like it's a soup with a great deal of depth. And well, I wouldn't say that this manages to recreate that level of depth. The fact that, it's got kind of a cheesy vibe, and it's got that, a little bit of that sort of earthy bitterness to the onion flavor. I can see where they're going for with it. And honestly, they're just really good. Like, regardless of how much they do or don't taste like French onion soup, they're really tasty. And I say that as somebody who, I'm not like a huge popcorn person. I like popcorn to a point, and I'm not against it, but like it's not a go-to snack for me. But this manages to not only be a unique flavor, it's a type of popcorn I've never had before, but beyond that, although again, it's certainly not a one-to-one or anything with, the actual French onion soup, I can see what they're going for. Like it's okay. So yeah, I can dig this. This is actually pretty dang good. So I'm glad I got a big bag of it because it's really tasty, and yeah, I'm down. But 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I mean, I have to go with yes and yes. I think that, there's other types of popcorn that would be, greater personal favorites of mine. But I do really like this one. I think it's a really cool flavor. And again, I appreciate the fact that, like, yeah, there clearly was some effort put into it to try to actually, give it some kind of actual French onion soup flavor. And, well, yeah, again, it doesn't perfectly mimic it by any stretch of the imagination. It's evocative enough of it, and even beyond that, it's just really tasty. Like, it's really flavorful, and again, it's a really unique flavor, that I personally never had in a popcorn, so I would get that again. And if I'm recommending it, which, I mean, I guess in part I'm recommending it, to Nate and or Steph plus anybody else, yeah, I would. I think that, excuse me. Again, yeah, I think even if you're, I mean, I guess part of it depends on what you're expecting going in. If you're expecting like a super strong French onion flavor, it doesn't quite have that. But what it is a really good popcorn that's really tasty. The popcorn itself is really, nice to eat with, again, just sort of elements that are, familiar to that dish and that come through really nicely in this, And at the end of the day, I mean, cheese and onion works, that's just a thing. But I appreciate that I kind of appreciate they didn't go too heavy-handed on it. They still allowed it to be a little bit subtle, to have a little nuance, but at the same time, just be a really rather tasty bag of popcorn. So, there you go, Nate. Anyway, 5 things before you get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly big-ass bag of popcorn-tastic rest of your life. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, have you been to Trader Joe's before? Do you have a Trader Joe's anywhere near you? I don't know how pervasive they are, but there's certainly, any number of them in the state of Illinois. And like I said, it was never anything against their establishment. Like I don't live that close to any of them, and it was just a thing of like, well, I have other places that I tend to shop, but I'm glad I went over there and took the opportunity to not only get over there and hang out with some really good people, but to expand my horizons a little bit and ultimately get some nice stuff out of it. So I'm down. But anyway, bye.